What is going on, guys? My name is HBROYALBLOOD, and welcome to my DEADMAN Reborn video. I do apologize that this video is going to be less quality than my other videos since I'm not going to be editing anything at all, and I'm just going to talk through it because finally, in 2021, we have some real content here, and I'm really excited to dive into this. So, let's get into it. Uh, Also, another thing is I'm not going to just be reading it. I'm also going to be giving my opinions and some tips and some guidelines. So if you're a beginner, intermediate, or been playing since season one, the regular demo world, then you came to the right video. So let's get into this. Right away, we basically have accelerated XP rates, certain quests unlocked, which I will get into it, but it doesn't really say anything here. Here's just the safe zones, and this is the part where I do want to stop and talk about. So from last season, you would be losing 10 of your top most valuable items from your opponent's bank. But in this season, you are going to be losing 28 of your most valuable items. So that is a huge change. However, this change isn't really good in my opinion. Why? Because people, number one, are going to be muling stuff and they're going to be switching over and giving their items to friends or clan members. And to be honest, it is a nice idea to get 28 most valuable items from a person's bank. However, this will be countered if muling is not allowed. And even if it is not allowed, then people are going to be muling because it's pretty hard to track. You can give your stuff to your friends and you can say it's not muling. And it does actually take away items from the safety box only on the final death. So I'll get into the lives later, but let's keep going. So there's a 3 lives system, and the 3 lives is the first 2 lives are safe, and the third life is going to be where your account gets pretty much washed out if you die again. So here's the thing that I do not like and like. Number one, this is actually really good for solo PKers. The reason why is because if you were, let's say, a clan member and you're trying to PK, and then one day your buddy died because he died 3 times for no reason, then that is going to be really bad for the clan member since they lost a member and they're only doing multi PKing. So it is going to be a lot riskier going out into the wilderness. It is going to be a lot riskier going out pretty much anywhere. And items in the whole RuneScape demo mode world are going to be a lot more expensive. Going to get green d'hide is going to get way more expensive because not only that, because you cannot box any NPCs at all. Um, I do not think it says it here, but later on it'll say that you cannot box any NPCs, and that is one of the most important changes to demo mode. And I don't even know why they didn't add this in the first place because they really need to add it to help not only the single PKers but to make demo mode more riskier. And it's so easy to escape even with that. So, in my opinion, this is a really good change, and it does help the single PKers a lot too. So, makes the community a little more active. PvP deaths will be 3 item protected. That's standard, and everything here is standard as well. And if you do die and you lost your third life, here's the thing: you get a tier 2 set. Now, I don't know all their tier 2 sets because they didn't release anything. They only released one thing, but you do get a little catch-up mechanic, and this is really nice since you don't lose any quests. You 10% of all skilling XP is lost, so not everything is lost. Just your combat XP will be lost, so that is something that is going to suck. But your sigils or your relics are going to be lost, but you will get a tier 2 one when you get under life. So pretty good for catch-up mechanic wise. And this right here is pretty interesting. There's going to be 4 different types of worlds, or 4 different types of combat level brackets, and each world is probably going to have maybe 2 worlds are going to have these brackets right here. So 3 to 35, 36 to 70, 71 to 100, 101 to 126. So this is going to be really important to determine your pathing because Some, if you're just looking to make money or to just farm supplies, there are going to be some paths where you do want to be a low bracket. So, for example, if I'm going to be rushing Barrows, Barrows is about probably like mid tier. So I want to be in this bracket when I start doing Barrows, not in this bracket when I start doing Barrows. Pretty self-explanatory because you don't want to be facing people with high strength, magic, and range, and then that's the long spear you're down, and something just fell down on my table, so I do apologize about that. But really, really important that they make these brackets because it doesn't, so that 126 doesn't just stomp a level 3, and you do want to make sure you plan out your pathing. Just like I said, barrows, you do want to make sure, like if you're doing barrows, you want to be 36 to 70. So you just need to train 40 defense and attack, or just range and magic, and you'll be pretty good. I don't think anybody's going to kill you in this bracket. The only way I could see people killing you is a Gmaul at this level. In this category, Vested Longswords is going to be out, so that's going to be a lot more dangerous. So planning out your pathing in the combat level bracket is going to be something that are going to be useful. And another example would be for 335 would be doing blue dragons. You can kill them at the very low level because you can safe spot them. If you want to be 71 to 100, then you want to make sure you're here and not here. And you might be in this bracket, you might want to be doing God Wars Dungeon. God Wars Dungeon is going to be pretty good for this level. You do need some help. Obviously, you can't solo at that level, but with the increased drop rates, you probably need to kill maybe about 30 or 30 something bosses to just receive a drop. So it is really nice that they increase the drop rate as well. So plan your pathing out and make sure you know which combat level bracket you want to be in. Another thing that you want to know is that when you PvP, you do not get any XP. So if you're a PvPer and you want to stay in this bracket, you are pretty much safe. So go out and go kill some noob farming fishing. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So, like I said here, this is just a PJ timer, and it's really good that they added the PJ timers since a lot of times clan modes, if you have more people, even though it is a single zone, what they do is they just tag you out, and then another guy comes in and then kills you. So, really good that they made this sort of a 9.6 second escape. Yeah, way people can survive. And here are some changes that they made for the multi-zone. Lunar Isles they would change this because to get the Lunar Spellbook, Bandit Camp, and Shadow Dungeon. Shadow Dungeon, I don't really see people camping, which is interesting, but I'm assuming that's for DT because people don't want to get other people to get DT, so that's why. Barbarian Village, don't know why, and White Wolf Mountain, don't know why either, but they're changing those zones into singles, so that is something to keep in mind. Okay, so the XP multiplier is going to be interesting. So the reason why they did this is because they want to make sure that every level feels the same. So, and to also accelerate the levels, because once you get to 90 to 99, it's going to be super hard with just 15 times XP. So the fact that they even add 25 times XP is going to help you a lot. It's going to help you a lot. But it also is something to be wary of, since if you're doing some farm runs or some like barrows runs in this category right here, 36 to 70, you do want to make sure that you are starting probably around 55 combat to 60 combat. Because the reason why is because if you keep farming too much, when you're like maybe you started at level 67, then you probably can only get a few barrows runs and then you're above 70, and then you have to face the 71 to 100 combat level right here. So the skills is still the same as usual as last season, 10 times XP, but the combat XP difference is right here, and you need to make sure that you need to calculate you're not just farming a little too late. because you don't want to go into the other bracket and get crushed. This quest unlock is pretty interesting. I was hoping that Animal Magnetism would be in the level 3 category because it would help a lot with picking up the arrows to train range. However, since this is in the 36 to 70 category, what I do recommend, for example, if you're going for the Barrows path, what I do recommend is to train something like Magic. And I do have a little guide that I might post in the next YouTube video if this video gets 500 views in 1 week quickly. If this video gets 500 views, I will be giving out a guide to you people how to efficiently do Barrows pathing and how to get to Barrows with efficient routes. So if this video gets 500 views, I'll just throw it out and that'll be it. So yeah, getting back to this right here, Animal Magnetism, I do hope that it was level 3, but since you do need to get level 36 combat, you do probably want to train something like Magic and Prayer to help you with their levels, and be training some defense too at the same time, and you'll easily get 36. So that is my opinion. You just go do the blue dragons, and yeah, don't train range at early beginning because it is going to kind of suck. But if you are comfortable and you did plan your route with range, then that is up to you. But yeah, it is going to be a little harder with Animal Magnetism at 36 combat level. Other than that, everything doesn't seem too much of a big deal. Lost City doesn't really matter. Maroon's Quest doesn't matter. Dragon Slayer doesn't matter. Nothing really else matters right here. So the only important one is Animal Magnetism, and actually this one right here, the Bigger and Badder Slayer. For those of you who don't know this, or just a refresher, this is the one that makes those mobs turn into superior monsters, and you get a shit ton of XP, you get really good loot, you have a chance of getting imbued hearts. So really, two really important ones right here. The drop rate right here is going to be pretty much the same 3 times as normal. Pretty self-explanatory. You could go over this yourself. But the one thing that I am curious is this one right here. All Zora uniques. In last season, and for many seasons before that, Zora was banned because there's a lot of items that are really, really OP for not only PvE, but for PvP as well. Magic Fang for PvP, Blowpipe for PvE. Super, super OP items. And this is interesting because it said all Zora uniques. However, they didn't state it that they're bringing back Zora. So I do believe Zora will be in this season. So do check it out, Zora, if you want to do that pathing, because if it is, then it's going to be really, really, really important to get those Magic Fangs, to get those Serpentine helmets. Everything in there is super useful. So, and also Torture Gorillas and Demonic Gorillas are in there. I don't know if they are bringing the Ring of Suffering. That was one item that was banned, but I'm not really sure if they're bringing it back as well. Again, they just give us some information. They didn't give us a lot, so things could change from this video a couple weeks from now. And right here is just saying that you get supply drops to motivate people to kill these bosses. And yeah, this is also why Barrows is really OP, since Barrows does give you a chance, as stated right here. In Barrows, there is a chance to obtain potions and ingredients. So not only are you getting money, you are also supplying yourself with everything you're using. And not only that, actually, I don't think they have mysterious emblems anymore because they did remove it before. So, not really sure about that one. But yeah, I don't know if mysterious emblems are still going to be in demo mode, but yeah, don't think so. Okay, let's see. So right here, there's some places that you cannot go. The Duel Arena is closed. Castle War is closed for obvious reasons. Pretty self-explanatory. You can read that yourself if you want more information. And everything is pretty much the same. Pyramid plunder or pyramid tops. I used to go over to pyramid tops back in the season 3 for money, but uh, if you are thinking of pyramid tops, agility pyramid, do not do that for money. Even for all money, it is 100% not worth it. The reason why is because it's kind of easy to escape, but it's also a little bit RNG to escape. So if your PKer is following you constantly because you're both falling down at the same time or you're both passing at the same time, then it is going to be quite hard to escape. But if you are thinking of pyramid tops for money, don't do it. Not worth. Absolutely not worth. Okay, so sigils. I love these sigils. However, there is one thing that I have a problem with, and it is the combat one right here. So this one right here, the combat, gives you increased melee accuracy and by increased by 10% in stab, slash, and crush. That is fine. But if they add something that is going to be making an item very OP, let's say they added AGS doing 25% more damage, or Toxic Staff doing 25% more damage, or Barrage doing 25% more damage, that is going to be not okay. And I hope they only do these small buffs. And these small buffs is actually very, very important because a lot of times people are hitting zeros, and it is super boring to see that in tournaments especially. So this type of right here, this type of combat sigils is very good because it does give you a slight advantage, not a full advantage, just a slight advantage. And you will be getting these type of sigils at the start. You'll get one, and then later you'll get more. I'm not sure how many. I'm actually not too sure how many you can get at the same time. Oh, right here. It will be possible to have up to 3 sigils at the same time, but 2 can only be combat. So, I think in the beginning, this is probably the stamina one right here is going to be my go-to since I will need some stamina since agility level 1 agility is pretty brutal. Let's be honest. But I think after day 1, it's going to be pretty useless. So if you're starting after day 1, I would not recommend the sigil of stamina because a lot of people are going to get stamina pots off of just the drop rates or the packages from any monsters. So do not get the sigil of stamina unless it's day 1, in my opinion. But that can also change once they release more information about it. So you will be losing any sigils if you die for the 3rd time. So do be careful about that. So yeah, watch out. Now here's right. Now here, like this is insane. 2,048 players across 4 worlds in a 1v1. That's actually going to be really interesting because this cameraman or camera people have to be very, very, very good because I don't even know how the hell they're going to record 2,048 players fighting each other. That is going to be insane. They had trouble with 200 something players, so I don't even know how they're going to do 2,000 players. And I'm really, really interested in watching this because this is a heck of a lot of people, 2,048 players. And I'm probably going to be in this bracket, but I'm guarantee you I'm not going to be passing the first round as I am just here just to make money. I'm not too much of a PKer. Yes, I can kill Venezuelan people, but that's about it. That's my PKing skill. So, yeah, a nice cash flow prize, 20,000 for first place, second place 10,000, pretty much standard as last time. So, really cool. Yeah, really, really interested to see this tournament. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, so right here, the active mealing during the season is prohibited and a bannable offense. However, I know all of you people that are watching this video, you are smart enough that you could just simply not do this. But a lot of people are going to try to meal by just giving items to their friends. But honestly, I can't really blame them for that because technically that's not mealing, but technically it is kind of it is kind of mealing. So honestly, leave a comment below if you think that's mealing. And you know what? I think this is a pretty good for our first video, and I do apologize if the video is shit quality because I think this video is shit quality, but I just want to get this video out here because I am so hyped for DEADMAN mode, and I'm looking forward to going into the tournament and maybe scoring a kill on a hopeless skiller that might be in the finals. But anyways, thank you for watching. My name is HBROYALBLOOD, and 500 views for the second video.